If you or a loved one are struggling with type 2 diabetes, you should visit the link in the description below. This clinically proven, drug-free program lowers blood sugar to a normal level and can completely reverse type 2 diabetes within just a few weeks. Here's today's video.
The question: what were your first symptoms of type 2 diabetes? Answer by Janice Gill. I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes completely by accident. I was not obese, had a non-sedentary job and did not consider that I had a poor diet. I had some symptoms in retrospect that could be vaguely attributed to the onset of diabetes, such as needing more fluid and being extremely tired. The tiredness I believed was due to my physical job as a care worker, and the need for fluid I put down to the effects of my IBS. I found out by testing my blood sugar on my daughter's blood glucose monitor. It was 3 times higher than it should have been. An HbA1c test confirmed the diagnosis. I had successfully lowered my blood sugar levels by vastly reducing my carbohydrate intake. At first, to help lose weight and body fat, I followed a regimen where I was restricted to 100 grams carbs per day. After I reached my target BMI of 22, down from 26, I allowed myself 150 grams per day. My diet is higher in protein than it used to be, and I don't restrict my fat intake. I avoid refined sugar as much as possible, which was hard for the first couple of weeks but much easier later. My last HbA1c test showed a normal level. Cholesterol was good, and as a bonus, my blood pressure better than it has been for years. My advice to everyone is get yourself tested regularly. In the UK it's free at some chemists, so you don't even need to visit the doctor. It could save you some distressing symptoms at a later date. Answer by George Hawkins. I was not overweight, early 40s, and I ate a healthy diet. I had no symptoms that I noticed. In retrospect, I was often sleepy in the afternoon, scarily, when driving, but put it down to tiredness. One afternoon, my vision suddenly started to shake. The shaking went on for a few seconds. I had headaches and lethargy. So I went to my GP, who ordered a blood test. I was extremely surprised to find I had diabetes type 2, despite the fact it was in my family. I was put on metformin, I think, 2 pills a day, but it did not make much difference. Eventually the amount was raised to 4 pills a day. As I read and learned more about the condition, I was making changes to my diet and cutting down carbs, increasing protein as best I could. My blood sugars came down and the amount of metformin was reduced. Now, a couple of years after diagnosis, my latest blood tests show sugar levels of a non-diabetic and on 1 pill per day. I hope that I will be able to maintain this, or even get by without metformin eventually. Answer by Carolyn Bunge. Pregnancy. I was considered a gestational diabetic after a failed glucose fasting test. I probably should have put more effort into preventing it from coming back after pregnancy. It went away after each pregnancy, but 5 years post-pregnancy I started getting migraines, severe lethargy and extreme thirst. Also there was weight gain, particularly visceral weight gain. I had a beer belly starting. I went and had my AIC checked and it would bounce back and forth for a few years between pre-diabetic and just fine. I did not take my health seriously like I should have and continued my lethargic lifestyle until I was taking medication, and even then I was like, oh, diabetes, everyone gets it, but I was 34. Finally this year I am taking action and have taken my AIC from a 10.3 to a 7.9 on the ketogenic diet. So yes, I had a lot of first symptoms but I ignored them. If you are having symptoms like mine or any of the ones posted, see a doctor and take back control of your life. I'll share a couple of pictures. Also, I hope I don't sound too preachy. I just don't want anyone to suffer needlessly. I feel so much better now that I've been losing weight and feeling so much better with my new AIC-S and daily blood glucose having dropped hundreds of points. A picture of me showing the extreme visceral fat. Note that is not pregnancy. 2 months of the ketogenic diet versus diabetes very uncontrolled. From a 10.3 to a 7.9. Me now about 30 pounds lighter. Wish I had a Cora appropriate SFW picture.